Namaste. Today, 10th standard continuation of the lesson, the elixir of life. Today, we are going to discuss on these points: steps of soil erosion, 2 steps, measures to check soil erosion, seasonal rainfall and conservation of water for agriculture. What are the results if not conservated? Afforestation, how to build civilized forest, utility of water in agriculture, methods and techniques of use of water in agriculture. So, last class we have discussed what is the importance of water. It is nothing but equal to the elixir of olden days, and also we have also discussed about the two parts of near the Nile river, that is Egypt and Libyan desert. Egypt is a fertile land and Libya is a desert which has not a speck of greenery there, and Egypt is completely fertile land and civilization grew in this place. Next, we have discussed about the rain-fed tanks and what is the how in rain tanks the silt water, by storage of silt water, and how beautiful it is to see, and how it carries the water to the rain-fed tanks. These are all things we have discussed in the last class, and we have also discussed how the water carries silt to the rain-fed tanks, how it is stored. These things we have discussed. Today, para number 8. Soil erosion occurs in successive steps. So, steps of soil erosion. Soil erosion occurs in successive steps, the earliest of which may easily pass unnoticed. So, earliest step we cannot see in detail. In the later stages, the cutting off and washing away of the earth is only too painfully apparent in the formation of deep gullies and ravines, which make all agriculture impossible. Sudden bursts of excessively heavy rain resulting in a large runoff of surplus water are the principal factors in causing rainfall. So, what is the principal cause of rainfall is sudden burst of excessively heavy rain resulting in a large runoff of surplus water are the principal factors of causing soil erosion. Underline these two lines. Contributory. So this is the main reason. Contributing to this main reason, there are other reasons too for soil erosion. Causes are the slope of the land. Slopy land is another cause. Removal of the natural protective coat of vegetation. Coat of vegetation means nothing but removal of forest. The existence of ruts along which the water can flow with rapidly gathering momentum. So, when there is a narrow place, the water flows very fast. So, then also there is possibility of soil erosion, and the absence of any checks to such flow. There is no checks, there is nothing to stop the flow of water in that way. Incredibly large quantities of precious soil can be washed away if such condition exists, as is unhappily too often the case. So, incredibly, this is due to these reasons, large quantities of precious soil is very precious. We cannot, if soil is washed away, it cannot be brought back easily. So, this is an unhappy moment, unhappy case that it exists. It is continuously going on happening about this soil erosion. Para number 9. The menace which soil erosion presents to the continuation of successful agriculture is an alarming one. In many parts of India, calling urgently for attention and preventive action, the terracing of the land, the construction of bunds to check the flow of water, the practice of counter cultivation, and the planting of appropriate types of vegetation are amongst the measures that have been suggested. It is obvious that the aim should be to check the flow of water at the earliest possible stage before it has acquired any appreciable momentum and correspondingly large destructive power. So, in the ninth para, author has said about some of the measures which we can take in the earliest stage. Earliest stage means before it is too late to rectify or correct the soil erosion or stop the soil erosion. Before that, we have to take this measure. What are those? Then here the author has given terracing of the land is the first point, the terracing of the land. The construction of bunds, the construction of bunds to check the flow of water. Bunds means stopping construction. The practice of counter cultivation and the measures that have been suggested. Other than bunds and terracing of the land, we can also do counter cultivation. Counter cultivation is nothing but cultivation along with the same level of elevation to prevent erosion. There will be two types of cultivation here, one of crops and another of commercial products. So counter cultivation, through counter cultivation also we can check the soil erosion. So it is obvious that the aim should be to check the flow of water at the earliest possible stage before it has acquired any appreciable momentum and correspondingly large destructive power. So if it is the flow of water is not checked in initial stage, there will be loss of power as well as soil. So therefore we have to aim at using these measures as early as possible. Para number 10. Water is the basis of all life. So water is the basis of all life. Water is which has originated life. Every animal and every plant contains a substantial portion of free or combined water in its body, and no kind of physiological activity is possible in which the fluid does not play an essential part. So, here in these 4 lines, the author has said about water is the basis of life. Life originated in water. So it is important part for life. No, there is no life without the existence of water. Every kind of life depends on water, and in the body itself there is content of water. Water is of course necessary for animal life, while moisture in the soil is equally imperative for the life and growth of plant and trees. So what these 2 lines says is water is of course necessary for animal life. Animal life needs water for drinking, as well as in the body itself there is moisture, and content of water is must for a living thing. And other than living thing, animal life, water is also important for plants and trees, because if there is no water in the soil, the plants won't grow. The preservation and utilization of water is thus fundamental for human welfare. Apart from artesian water, the ultimate source in all cases is rain or snowfall. So, what are the sources of water available on earth? One is rainfall, another is snowfall. Much of Indian agriculture depends on seasonal rainfall and is therefore very sensitive to any failure or irregularity of the same. If the rainfall in India rainfall is seasonal. So if the rainfall, it is very sensitive. Agriculture is completely dependent on rainfall, and this matter is very sensitive because if there is no rainfall, agriculture is put under danger and there will be no agriculture. Even if there is too much of rain, excessive rain, then also agriculture is put to danger. The problem of soil erosion and the inadequate of irregular rainfall are closely connected with each other. It is clear that the adoption of techniques of preventing soil erosion would also help to conserve and keep the water where it is wanted. So, what happens here? The problem of soil erosion is if it is connected to it is connected to soil erosion, and it is clear that the adoption of techniques preventing soil erosion would also help to conserve and keep the water where it wanted. So if we try to stop the soil erosion, if we use the methods to check the soil erosion, there we can conserve the water for where it is used, like agriculture or any other purpose, industrialization, for any other purpose we can use the same water if the water is preserved by checking the soil erosion. And such techniques therefore serve a double purpose. So wherever you use a technique to stop the soil erosion, the same technique can be used to conserve the water. Para number 11. It is evident, however, that in a country having only a seasonal rainfall, an immense quantity of rainwater must necessarily run off the ground. The collection and utilization of this water is therefore of vital importance. Much of it flows down into the streams and rivers and ultimately finds its way to the sea. Incredibly large quantities of the precious fluid are thus lost to the country. The harnessing of our rivers, the water of which now mostly run to waste, is a great national problem which must be considered and dealt with the national importance. Vast areas of land which at present are mere shrub jungle, which would be turned into fertile and prosperous country by courageous and well planned action. Here in para number 11, what the author is saying is, see, in India, the source of water is rainfall. So, when the rain falls on the ground, much of the water just flows to the rivers or lakes or streams and join the flow into it makes its way to the sea. So ultimately there is a loss of water. So by this way, lot of quantities of water is lost to the country. So we cannot harness the rivers. Here, if we dealt with the problem of using or preserving this water, then it is of most useful to our country. And here mostly in India we have shrub jungles. We are not having very shrub jungles means the plants are of a smaller size, and if these jungles are really made large, then there will be chance of preserving water by as the plants preserve the soil, and thereby it can store the water in its roots. Therefore, if it is done, then our country can make courageous and well planned actions. Para number 12. Closely connected with the conservation of water supplies is the problem of afforestation. Closely connected with the conservation of water supplies is the problem of afforestation. The systematic planting of suitable trees in every possible or even in impossible areas, and the development of what one can call civilized forest as distinguished from wild and untamed jungles is one of the most urgent needs of India. Such plantation would directly and indirectly prove a source of unsold wealth to the country. They would check soil erosion and conserve the rainfall of the country from flowing away the waste. So here in the 12th para, how afforestation can be made and conservation of water can be done. So what the author is saying that we have to start planting systematic plantation which is suitable for particular soil. So suitable trees in every possible or even in impossible areas. So every possible areas and even in impossible areas such as in terraces, in your balconies. If you try to plant the trees means the small plants, etc. That is called civilized forest. So civilized forest is nothing but man-made forests as distinguished from wild and untamed jungles. So man-made jungles are different from wild. Wild jungles usually grow by itself, but man-made jungles are grown by man for their own purpose. So this can such plantation would directly and indirectly prove a source of untold wealth to the country. So these sources, these civilized forests can make agriculture better, and it will be a source of income to the country. They would check soil erosion and conserve the rainfall of the country from flowing away the waste. So if such plants are made, if such forests are made, civilized forests or even jungles can check the flow of water, and it can preserve the fertile fertile land. It can preserve the fertile land. So soil erosion can also be checked. Para number 13. The measures necessary to control the movement of water and conserve the supplies of it can also serve subsidiary purpose of the value of life of the countryside. Countryside is nothing but the village side. So here the author is saying if we should plan, then we should plan about subsidiary purpose of conservation of water and supply of water to the village sites. By far, the cheapest form of internal transport in a country is by boats and barges through canals and rivers. We hear much about programs of rail and road construction, but far too little about the development of internal waterway in India. Then again, the harvesting of water supplies usually makes possible the development of hydroelectric power. The availability of electric power should would make a tremendous difference to the life of countryside and enable the rural economy to be improved in various directions. In particular, it would enable underground water to be tapped to a greater extent than at present, and thus help to overcome the difficulties arising from a regularity or inadequacy of other sources of supply. So, what the author is saying in this para is nothing but how in the countryside, that is village side, water can be supplied. We will all know that water transport is the cheapest way of transport. So here it is usually seen that most of the big transportation, I mean big barges, boats are sent by water. So here in India, there is no such plans as to there is no such program as to development of a countryside through or by making channels. Channels should be made to send supply water to the rural sites so that they can use this water in the agriculture production. Then again, the harvesting of water supplies usually makes the possible of development of hydroelectric power. So, if the water channels are made, then it can also be used for hydroelectric power. If hydroelectric power production is there, then rural people or countryside people will be benefited doubly. So there will be tremendous difference in the life of the countryside, and it may enable the rural economy to develop and improve in a various directions. So in particular, the underground water should be tapped to be used in the agriculture. So these plans for this serious plan should be made, and for present there is difficulties and irregularities and inadequate sources of supply. So these are the just plans suggested by the author, but what the author is saying, for it at present there is inadequacy of supplies to the countryside, and it is making difficulty in agriculture and making use of other source of water. In one sense, water is the commonest of liquids. In another sense, it is the most uncommon of liquids with amazing properties which are responsible for its unique power of maintaining and plant life. The investigation of the nature and properties is water is therefore of the highest scientific interest and is far from the exhaust field of research. So here water is very important liquid, as well as it is very common. The substance is very uncommon, but water is commonly available. So this water should be maintained for preserving life on the earth, and this should be used very intelligently. So here the author is trying to say that though water is very common, the substance of water is very uncommon. The substance makes the water very precious. Therefore, it is the main source of life on the earth. This field of conservation or preservation of the water is of very important for scientific studies. These studies has not been exhausted. Exhausted means many doesn't use this as a subject for their investigation or scientific studies. What author is saying, people, scientists should make this subject for the conservation and preservation of water as their scientific subject. So, thereby he ends the lesson. There are so many words at the backside of the lesson. Just go through it, write it in your fair book, and learn the words, not by hearting, learn the words very thoroughly. Thereby, and not only those words, but wherever you find difficult words, underline those words and then check in your dictionary and write it in your fair book. Those words also write it in your fair books and learn those words. Try to answer the questions behind the lesson. Still, I will give you the answers for the lessons soon. Till then, namaste.